there was a pretty monumental announcement, news release, code of conduct change that happened this week in the UFC. And I'm pretty sure that that's a great segue for our big friend over here, for Josh to talk about. This is Fremd's Feelings.
Welcome to Fremd's Feelings. What we're going to talk about today is that new policy. As yins all know, I am a degenerate. I did, at one point, love to gamble. Loved it. Sunday mornings, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night.
What?
Saturday night.
What?
You know, any time that there was fighting, fisticuffs, or football, I love gambling. It's just fun. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to throw like $1,000 on something. Some days I might. We don't need to talk about specifics. But when I got signed to the UFC, I didn't know that we weren't allowed to gamble. I understand that if you're a professional athlete, you're not allowed to gamble. But I'm not in the NFL. I'm not in the MLB. I wasn't in the NBA. So I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Turns out it is. So before everyone knew it, this weekend, I knew this a couple months ago when I got a message from my manager saying, hey, bro, you can't gamble. You're not allowed to do that. I got kicked off of DraftKings. I got kicked off of MGM. I got kicked off Barstool because they ran a little whatever you want to call audit. Yeah. And they were like, hey, you can't gamble on this thing. And I was like, what am I going to do on Sundays now? Am I just going to sit there and not have skin in the game? Are you crazy? You got to put a little bit of action into it. But that's what we're getting at. It is now official. There's new policy out. It's going to be more detailed here as the time goes on. But if you are a fighter, obviously in the UFC, you cannot gamble on any fights. If you are a close person in proximity, maybe a coach, maybe a trainer, maybe a teammate of, you can't gamble. This is where it's going to get interesting because we know our boy James Krause makes millions and millions. Maybe not that much. I don't know what he does, but he's a gambler.
6-figure profit so far.
He's
He's
a smart guy. What's James Krause gonna do? What's he gonna do?
I mean, I feel like he might be one of those guys that has some sort of pass or some sort of exemption because
he's been grandfathered in.
Like he might be grandfathered. I mean, he's not fighting anymore.
He's not, but he is close.
But he is close.
And the way it's worded,
but he also has a gambling show on the ESPN platform.
True.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm not even. You know what? We're gonna move right along past that one just because of some of the things that we do know. We don't want to go too deep on with that particular person. But like I say, I do understand what you're saying. But I'm also, Josh, I'm kind of surprised that it's taken this long for there to be some sort of formal statement or stance on it. Simply because you've had situations where some fighters have been very public about their betting and about who they've placed their money on, so on and so forth. Especially like Justin James being one example that comes to mind, that he bet his entire show money purse on himself and he lost.
Yeah, that's rough.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like
yeah.
that's something that's been public knowledge for quite some time now. And I knew that it was also only going to be a matter of time when we've been having some of these post-fight shout-outs where they've been mentioning some of these cappers and betting services that are not UFC sponsors. So I knew that it was only a matter of time before there was going to be an official correction within that policy.
Yeah.
That's just like, I believe, I can't remember if it was Golden Palace versus like the Mohegan Sun. I don't remember which one, but wasn't it Sam Alvey that had the henna tattoo that he did on his chest of the rival casino? I don't remember if it was Samuel, but there was someone in years past, folks, you could look it up, but that was the exact situation, that there was a rival casino that paid one of the fighters to do a henna tattoo on their chest of their advertisement. Mm. Well, obviously the casino venue hosting the fights didn't take too kindly to that. So to my knowledge, unofficially, the UFC smoothed the waters over with a nice little check being cut from the Fertittas back in the day.
Money talks, baby.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
or live stream at DenverSportsBetting.com/radio.